Hello and welcome everybody. Kicker of Elves here. Hope you're all having a great morning, afternoon, evening, late night, whatever time it may be. Over on my end, it is a Sunday evening, and today we're here to talk about Manspider. Manspider is the new Super Premium Season Pass card. He's also available as a Series 5 card for 6,000 collector's tokens. This has been a really interesting pairing of cards in the Season Pass this year. Or not this year, certainly this year, but since they've started doing this, your basic Season Pass card that we've always gotten, and the card you get for the Super Premium Pass, this has been a particularly unique combination with Spider-Punk and Man-Spider. Both are very different, doing different things, and Spider-Punk immediately got a bunch of attention because it's in the move list, and it's got toxic stuff going on with its afflictability. Man-Spider, on the other hand, almost on the complete opposite side of the spectrum of those cards. So today I want to give a quick rundown, Manspider, my thoughts on this card after about a week of having it. Should you be investing in it? Is it worth to get the Super Premium Season Pass? All those sorts of things. First and foremost, Manspider. Let's talk about him. On reveal, merge the last card you played into this. When this merges, double its power. You've got merge in there, you've got the word double. That's a very important keyword right now in Marvel Snap when we're in the era of move dominance. We are about 24 hours out from Cerebro 3 winning the first ever kind of official World Championship Marvel Snap tournament. And in the final round, it was playing against a Thanos Arishem list. Now, I think that's very significant. Cerebro is, combo in nature. It is very much a combo style deck where if you don't draw Cerebro, sorry, you got nothing going on playing against a very teched out Thanos Arishem list. I think these results are important to consider as we talk about Manspider. And even though tournaments, when we're talking about you're playing against someone multiple times in Conquest, deck construction can be very different versus what you're trying to take into Ladder. I think the fact that we're looking at the World Finals and you're seeing teched out Monty, Thanos Arishem stuff versus Cerebro 3, that says something. Move did pretty well in the tournament. I think it made it to third place. It was high up there, but Move isn't just sweeping across there. It's very easy to tech in Mercury and deal with all that stuff. So with all that said, why am I talking about this results in a review of Manspider? Well, it's very important because what Manspider is trying to do is similar to Move, similar to other decks of that nature. It is trying to go over the top. This is not a card that you're going to try to weasel through and kind of go wide. This isn't a zoo deck. This isn't a ramp deck where you're spreading power with Doctor Doom and Odin multiple times. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. Way back in the day, that was reasonable. Manspider says, I'm going to get ridiculously big, and then I'm going to try and win 2 lanes with just sheer points. Can you deal with that? Let's find out. Manspider's text, and this is very important here, is the on reveal portion of this, even though it's just the whole word or the whole sentence here. On reveal, merge the last card you played into this. That's the part of this that is on reveal. The second sentence, when this merges, double its power, is not about the reveal. Anytime this card merges into something, whatever horrifying amalgamation of cards is part of Manspider now, you're doubling the power. This card immediately has great synergy with things like the Supergiant Sauron list where, you've got your Typhoid Mary that your Sauron didn't hit, and you don't want it to play it in a location with 3 other cards because it's going to be -6 power. Well, you play that on 4, Manspider on 5, you've turned that into a 22 power Manspider because you are removing the text from that. That was immediately interesting, but what's happened, and we'll go over this deck very shortly, is that people looked at this and said, okay, we've gotten a lot of cards with the merge keyword in it. Is Manspider going to be enough to turn this into a deck? And I feel like the early sentiment was, no, there's not enough to turn into a merge deck. Well, that ended up not being the case. Manspider, I would say out of the gate, down to brass tacks here, should you get this for 6,000 collector's tokens? unless you've got other multiple meta decks that you feel comfortable climbing with, this doesn't feel immediately. This is not, even though you might be seeing thumbnails out there and videos like, oh, this might be a problem, this is broken. The kind of power that Manspider is putting on the board is so vulnerable to tech. This is so similar to Black Panther Arnim Zola stuff. This is very similar to just like, you've got going into turn 6, you probably don't have priority. You've got a Manspider with 329 power in one location, and your opponent just gets to say, okay, do I have Shadow King? Do I have a Cosmo? Do I have Juggernaut? Do I have a Goliath? There's a lot of tech that if they have it, you're just going to end up having one giant location, and then the other, you're going to lose the game. We're in a meta game right now where tech has been kind of at an all-time low. Maybe the results of the Golden Gauntlet are going to change that as people try to experiment with Cerebro 3 and maybe go back to more Thanos Airshim lists. Hell, even I've been playing a decent amount of Cerebro 3 today on the back of those results. But I'm not a Cerebro gamer. Manspider's power is incredibly face up, and it is very easy to interact with. So we have to ask ourselves, are we in a meta where there's a lot of interaction? Traditionally, no, but if anybody's packing a Shadow King, if you were going into turn 6 and somebody snaps you, well, one, they shouldn't be boomer snapping, but if they are doing that, you almost definitely have to respect that and leave, because your Manspider is going to go back to 5-1, you're going to lose 4 or 8 cubes, and you're going to feel terrible. That all being said, if you're the kind of player who typically gets the super premium pass, you like the extra levels, this is a Series 5 card that you are removing from the track there. Obviously, I got it. I think that can be a very good value just in its own right, and this is by no means a terrible card. This is probably a B tier card across the board, but I personally don't like feeling so susceptible to tech. I like having my Human Torch that has 73 power nice and safe behind a Cosmo. I like those move decks because it's like I can move this, I can have priority, I can run tech of my own. Manspider really doesn't have that grace. You are going all in on this, and for some people that could feel uncomfortable. That could feel like, you know what, I don't like having all of my investment into this, and just a simple Shadow King, a Shang, pretty much any tech card except like an Enchantress can really ruin that. And also, one other thing is that its interaction with Arnim Zola, which is a very popular way to play this. You've got your 329 power Manspider, I'm going to Zola at the end. If Manspider wasn't the last card that you played, when you destroy it with Arnim Zola, it's going to look for that last card you played, merge twice, and you're going to just have one lane with like 1800 power or whatever, but you lost the other two because you put everything into Manspider. So it could use a little bit of an instruction manual, but overall I think this is a very fun card. I typically don't like it when players talk about like, oh, well, there's a good card and there's a fun card. This is a PvP only game. I don't know a lot of people that are like, I'm having so much fun going 0-18, losing 50 cubes while I'm playing today. I had a lot of fun though because I merged a lot of cards. I don't like the fun versus good card dichotomy that people try to construct. You're having fun when you're winning at the end of the day. I think, it's great to be playing decks that you enjoy and are satisfied, but you want something that is competitive in some capacity, unless you're just fine being ranked 30 every season. If that's you literally just want to play the funniest decks possible, get clips, and do like win 1 in 12 games, but you won with, 2,000 power in each lane, more power to you. I'm not saying that's that deck. The stats on the Manspider decks, and we'll cover those in just a second, are quite good, but for me, he feels a little bit fragile. You are very susceptible to tech. Is it cool? Yes. Does it have the word double in it? Yes. But this is not a card that you can just get and expect to cruise to infinite on Easy Street. You gotta be real smart with your retreats. You gotta really, really respect other people's snaps if you're not playing this in Conquest and you don't know what their deck is. But yeah, cool card. I think the art is incredible. I think the Super Premium Season Pass, unless the card is just like total garbage, being able to get a Series 5 card out of your pool for if you're opening snack packs or seasonal snack packs down the line. I think it's awesome that he offers a very different style of play than the regular Season Pass card in Spider-Punk. So yeah, Manspider, very cool. Let's talk about a couple of decks that he's popular in. This deck over here, this 12 cards on the left here, Man Spider, I absolutely love that this is a deck. What the idea is here, the first time I saw this, people posted like, oh, I hit infinite with this. I was like, what the hell are you looking at? What's going on with Penny Parker and Agony and all these other cards? This deck's main plan, this is very all in on Spider-Man, and it's very all in on the merge keyword. Agony says merge. Penny Parker as create Spider, which merges. Symbiote Spider-Man merges. What you are trying to do is ideally you're getting an Agony down in one location, Hulkbuster merges. You are building up, you're either ramping into Man Spider with Luna Snow or Ramona Renslayer. You are trying to merge Man Spider a few times, and then I find it safer to, and then Taskmaster that Man Spider, or Zola if you're very careful about your sequencing, and just absolutely crush and win 2 lanes. You've got a great backup plan with Symbiote Spider-Man, Black Panther, Arnim Zola, or Taskmaster stuff there as well. This is a deck that says, I'm going to ramp into one of my big guys and just ask the question, do you have a Shadow King? Do you have a Shang-Chi? Do you have something that can disrupt me? Because if you don't, I'm going to absolutely demolish you. Oh, you're playing the zombie package. You're not running Mercury Cannonball tech. That's a very cute 22 power zombie giant man there. My Taskmaster is 412 power. So is Man Spider over here. Your whole game plan is irrelevant. I love this deck. It does feel the whole Symbiote Spider-Man, Black Panther, Zola line feels significantly weaker than Man Spider, and it can be awkward when you're just like, okay, it's turn 3. I don't have ramp. I don't have Man Spider. I guess I'm gonna put my Spider onto Jennifer Kale just because I don't want to not be putting any points on the board. Be smart with your snaps and retreats. If you have Absorbing Man after you play Man Spider, you're absorbing into that. It is copying and just removing that. You just need to be very... This is the kind of deck that if you have Man Spider and you want to practice it, try it out in Proving Grounds, try it out in Conquest, unless you're already infinite and you don't care about your rank. Don't try to learn this on ladder. A lot of people have done very well with this deck. Shout out to Zodrex, who hit infinite with this recently. A lot of players have done that. Again, this is a deck that is very, very fragile. You can misplay yourself or lose a 50-50 on Zola, but when this deck is popping off, it feels phenomenal to win locations with 200 power apiece with, not that much effort in terms of just, you want to make sure that if you play Luna Snow on turn 3 and you have an Agony down in the left lane on turn, played him on turn 1, when you play Man Spider on turn 4 after that Luna Snow ramp, make sure Man Spider is played in the Agony lane, because Man Spider is going to merge with Luna Snow, turn to 14 power, then merge with Agony, and turn into, math off the top of my head, like 80 power or whatever. It's all about doing those kinds of interactions. Very cool. I love that merge is a legitimate deck. We'll see how much staying power this archetype has over time until it gets more cards, but this feels like a really cool home for Man Spider. Other deck I want to talk about, this is from Safety Blade. This is hybridizing Man Spider with the Sauron Zero package. We're running Surtur in here. This is a fun little bit of a throwback where there's lots of 10s, lots of power. You are very happy to hit all of these cards with Sauron, and if you don't, you're very happy to eat a Starbrand with your Man Spider, a Typhoid Mare with a Man Spider. Clubs all of these cards, and then you're making Surtur bigger, and eventually you can have a Scar or Taskmaster. And now, maybe you don't even want to run. If you're seeing a ton of Cerebro, you've got Enchantress as a tech, or Red Skull is just a lane winner there. This deck becomes maybe more relevant in a world where people have seen that a very cheap to build Cerebro 3 deck is the World Champion deck. This could have a lot of play into that as well. Your classic game plan is just getting down Surtur on 3 and then just trying to overwhelm with big guys. Shang-Chi only destroys 110 power card in a location. There are so many ways to just barrel over people with this list. It feels very fun. Last deck I want to talk about for this, very similar to the last one. I believe this is from It's Guess Gaming. I think he hit infinite with this. This is replacing the Surtur package with Iron Patriot in that position, and then swapping in Ares for Cull Obsidian. Pretty similar deck. Iron Patriot does give you more just like if you're not getting Man Spider, if you're not ramping into that part of the game plan, just having a mystery 4, 5, or 6 cost that you can reduce, because this deck is very easy to win Iron Patriot lanes with. And again, Man Spider, especially in these kinds of lists, something I haven't touched on that I really want to emphasize is that Man Spider, wherever you play him, it does not matter where the last card you played was. If you played Red Skull in the left location, and then you're playing Man Spider on the right location, you are eating that Red Skull and all your power goes to the right. It can be used to, let's say, dodge a Shang-Chi initially. It can be used to be like, on turn 5, they used Omniversal Presence from their Merlin spell and turned the right location into the Nexus. I'm going to move my big power guy that I played middle over to Nexus and Man Spider. Cool kind of tech options with that sort of thing. But again, you are so face up, you are so fragile because you can be Shadow Kinged, because you need to, winning one location is not enough. There's so many ways to interact with it. And for that reason, I'm a little bit in between on Man Spider. I think the Super Premium Season Pass is worth it. I think he is good enough to warrant that as a purchase. If you've got a bunch of tokens and you've got multiple meta decks you feel comfortable with, get Man Spider. But I'm curious to see how much this sticks around once people get over the initial phase of experimenting with him. He is strong. He is fun. If tech comes back in any more way than it is right now, people are going to be unhappy with Man Spider. Those are my thoughts on the Spider. Hopefully you're playing and enjoying him already, or this helps you decide what you want to do. And thank you very much for listening in. I've been Kicker of Elves. It's been awesome talking about this. I'm really into this season's cards so far. I think there's a lot of really cool ideas, and just happy to see Snap on the recovery on the horizon. Love seeing World Championships out there. It feels like a great time to be into the game. If you made it this far, really appreciate you watching and sticking through. Please hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps out. We are a new channel, and it's just been great to see the response to a lot of these videos. Love that people are enjoying this and finding the information valuable. Leave a comment. I will reply and engage with all of your comments, whether you're asking about Snap or you just want to talk about how FLCL, the original 6 episodes, is the greatest piece of media ever created. I will talk about that with you nonstop. So thanks very much. Those are my thoughts on Man Spider. Hope you're having a great one wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye.